Press Officer for UWW Wrestling. From the end of the table, we have recent and two-time world champion Frank Staebler of Germany. We have, of course, Mr. Nenad Lalovic, the president of UWW Wrestling and member of the International Olympic Committee. We have Mr. Bertholom, president of the French Wrestling Federation and of the organizing committee for these championships. And we have Mr. Noumonvi. My French is terrible, sorry. We're going to try to keep this to about 30 minutes, so make sure that you ask one question, maybe one follow-up, and we'll go ahead and open with remarks from Mr. Lalovic.
That works, yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this press conference. I'm happy to see this press conference so well attended, and my first impression on this championship is that we have, I think, from now on, new standards in organizing the competitions, especially the World Championships. I would like first to congratulate Frank Staebler on my right side for his performance, not only for his medal, gold medal, but also for the way he wrestled. This is what we need for the future. So, I would like to thank French Wrestling Federation and the city authorities and all those who contributed to have such an exceptional championship. I thank them also for something which is we are not so used to. During our wrestling championships, it's the security measures that have been much improved from our former championships. You know that in France there is still a state of emergency, and we have to respect that, and to respect the very complicated and extensive and expensive work that the authorities are doing to keep our athletes and our spectators safe. Unfortunately, this situation is quite complicated in Europe, and France is not in a special situation. All the countries are endangered by acts of terrorism, and you don't have any guarantee for any place that that cannot happen. So I would like to thank them for their concern about our security. I know it's not always comfortable, but we have no choice. And now I will maybe ask my colleague, President of the French Wrestling Federation, Alain Bertholom, for a few words. Is that possible? Or it's your job to do so?
Yes, Mr. Bertholom.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voulais aussi saluer nos deux athlètes, Franck et Melonin, deux immenses champions hein, de notre sport. Donc, pour la Fédération française de lutte, moi je parle en français, hein, désolé, c'est un événement considérable d'organiser ces championnats du monde.
It's a great event to organize these World Championships here in Paris.
C'est la première fois que nous organisons un mondial dans la ville de Paris.
It's the first time we've been organizing such a World Championship for wrestling in Paris.
Le comité d'organisation que nous avons mis en place depuis que la Fédération internationale nous a attribué le championnat travaille dessus, ce dossier depuis 3 ans.
The organization committee has been working on this for 3 years since it's been awarded to the city of Paris.
Donc nous avons bâti notre projet sur 3 grands axes. Les résultats sportifs.
We've built the project on 3 major axes. First one is sport results.
Nos relations internationales, qui me semblent excellentes.
International relations, which are excellent, I think.
Et puis bien sûr la promotion de nos activités sur le territoire français.
And of course, promotion of our activities throughout the country.
C'est important pour la Fédération française de lutte de se développer.
it's important for us to develop our activities in the country.
Bien sûr en termes sportifs, mais également tout simplement en termes économiques.
Of course on the sport side, but as well on the economic side.
Bien sûr, ce championnat doit nous laisser un héritage important.
This championship has to leave us with an important heritage.
En termes d'image et de notoriété.
As far as image is concerned and notoriety as well.
En termes de relations avec nos partenaires institutionnels et privés.
As well as for relations with our partners, institutional partners and private sector partners.
Et puis bien sûr, sur le savoir-faire, je pense que les gens qui ont travaillé sur ce dossier ont beaucoup appris.
And of course on the how-to procedures, people who have been working on this project have learned a lot.
Voilà en gros moi ce que je voulais dire pour la fédération, et j'en profite aussi pour remercier tous nos bénévoles et volontaires qui ont travaillé autour de nous.
That's what I wanted to say for the French Federation, and I would like to thank as well the volunteers and the staff who's been working for us since the beginning.
Et la confiance que la Fédération internationale nous a témoignée en nous confiant cette compétition.
And I want to thank the International Federation for the trust they've given us by awarding us the organization of this edition of the World Championships.
We can go ahead and open up for a few questions here. Just make sure that you direct it to the person that you want. And take the first question.
Yeah, just
You can ask directly.
I don't need a microphone.
Yeah, of course.
Nenad, thank you first of all for welcoming us all in France. You were very complimentary about the French security measures.
Yes.
But were you a bit concerned yesterday when the Armenian gold medalist appeared to be tackled by a fan who ran onto the mat? It didn't look like it was a coach or anything. And a second question, if I may, has Thomas Bach given any indication whether he will attend the championships at any point during the week?
The President Bach is traveling for China, and he will not attend at any point this championship. But it doesn't care. That doesn't mean that he's not very well informed about everything that happens here. I was a little bit concerned by the Armenian fan who succeeded to enter the competition area. But luckily it was a sign of happiness and joy. But that shouldn't happen anymore. I think that it will be prevented in the future.
Yeah, this is for Frank. Were you able to hear the fans chanting "Frankie, Frankie," and did it help you after you got into that match to have the support of your fans here in the tournament?
Ja, dieser Support ist mir, ich spreche auf Deutsch und wir translaten.
I will translate. Thank you.
War für mich unglaublich wichtig. Ich habe einen riesen Fanblock von zu Hause aus meiner Heimat dabei gehabt, meine komplette Familie, meine Freunde, meine Trainingspartner. Und dass diese Menschen dort in dem Raum sind, hat mir eine unglaubliche Motivation und Kraft gegeben, auch dann weiterzumachen, wenn mein Körper, meine Beine mich nicht mehr getragen haben.
Yes, he was very aware of the chants, and he knew that his family and friends and his fan club came from Germany along with him, and was very encouraging for him, even if he was struggling throughout a bout. He was tired, but like hearing his crowd cheering for him gave him the extra push and motivated himself to go even further and succeed.
Thank you, Frank.
Je vais poser ma question en français, je suis désolé.
I'll ask him, he will be asking in French, but I will translate.
Vous avez, Monsieur le Président, hier annoncé que c'était un nouveau standard pour des championnats du monde. Pourquoi et quel est l'objectif? C'est quoi le nouveau standard et vers quoi vous voulez aller pour votre discipline?
Mr. President, you announced yesterday that there was a new standard for this World Championship. Why? And what is the standard that you mentioned? What do you expect?
J'ai dit cela parce que je suis absolument certain que c'est le meilleur championnat du monde qu'on ait jamais eu.
I say that because I'm pretty sure it's the best World Championships we've ever had.
J'ai dit cela parce que cette présentation du sport dont on est toujours témoin ici à Paris est la meilleure jamais faite par la lutte, par le sport de la lutte olympique.
I say that because the way our sport has been presented here in Paris is the best we've seen.
Et c'est aussi le résultat d'une collaboration étroite entre les organisateurs, le comité d'organisation et la fédération internationale.
And it's a result of a tight collaboration between the international federation.
Et cela se passera dans le futur ainsi, parce qu'on a vu le résultat et on en est absolument satisfait.
And that will be the way it will happen in the future because we are very happy with the result.
Bien sûr, chaque événement peut être encore meilleur.
Of course, every event can be even better,
Mais ne peut pas être plus mauvais qu'ici.
but it should not be worse.
This is for Nenad. I'm glad we're going to 10 weight classes. I think that's awesome. They're going to, I believe, get determined here this week before you guys all leave. Is you guys going to go and get in a room or something and figure it out? Or are there like proposed sets that they're going to vote on? Or how are they going to figure out what the 10 weight classes will do?
Yes, there will be a set of proposed rules, a few proposals for which the board will vote. Our board meeting is still ongoing because myself and all my colleagues from the board understood very well they are here for working. And this is the best opportunity every year that we gather on the World Championship having such meetings. But I have to tell you that all the proposals have been prepared 6 months. They are working on them, the technical commission is working about 6 months on them. We wanted to have during our board meeting some adjustments. And then, as we didn't finish on Saturday, we decided to continue. Unfortunately, on Sunday, we couldn't have official translation. And I don't want to take any kind of decision which can be attacked about the legality. If all our members didn't maybe understood something, because we have a huge responsibility when changing rules, when changing the competition format and all this. That the whole future of the sport is linked to that. And I don't want have any possibility to make even a little mistake in the translation. No. And we will also have more experiences, especially for Greco-Roman these 2 days. And this is exactly why I said in the beginning that I congratulate Frank by the way he won. This is what we want in the future. We want the spectators happy. That's it. That's the answer to your question. And we will have results until the end of the decisions, not results, decisions, which will be implemented from 2018. It's the right moment to make those decisions because after the 1st of January, we cannot change any more rules because everybody has to adapt to the rules, to adapt to the weight categories, and to prepare for the qualifiers, which will start in 2 years already, for the qualifiers from the Olympic Games. This is why those decisions are so important, and we have to assume our responsibilities.
There's going to be 10 weights. and I don't know whether or not it's determined yet, but will 6 of those 10 weights be the Olympic weights? Or?
Yes, of course, 6 of them will remain Olympic weights.
Alors, on vient de dire que c'était les plus mondiaux qui avaient fait, on a connu quelques-uns en tant que tuteur, est-ce que tu es d'accord? Et deuxième question, dans 7 ans, il y aura les Jeux Olympiques dans cette salle aussi, est-ce que c'est un bel endroit pour faire des JO?
So first question was, the president has said it's the best World Championships that have been organized so far. Do you agree with that? Second question, in 7 years, we'll be holding the Olympics here in this very arena. And do you think it's a great arena to play in?
Alors oui, pour répondre à la question, c'est clairement les meilleurs championnats du monde à qui j'ai participé. Donc, point de vue d'organisation, on ne peut pas faire mieux. Je suis à 10 ou 11 championnats du monde. Voilà, j'ai jamais eu ça. Dans une salle que d'habitude j'ai l'habitude de voir des concerts dedans. Là, c'était nous les artistes. Donc,
I've been to 10 or 11 World Championships so far, and this is clearly the best I've been into. And this is a great arena. I'm used to going there for concerts, and this week we are the stars.
Et oui, c'est magnifique, mais pour les Jeux Olympiques, dans 7 ans, mais on me dit qu'il y aura un Bercy 2 qui va être construit, donc la lutte ne sera pas dans cette salle, mais dans un nouveau complexe construit, donc mais bon, j'imagine que ce sera aussi magnifique.
Yeah, it would be awesome to have the wrestling here in 7 years, but there are talks about building a second arena, and the wrestling would be in that second arena, not here.
Frank, Staebler. Instagram. I saw this picture, right? Whose idea was that, to do the picture in the singlet by the Eiffel Tower? And how important is social media for the athletes to help promote themselves and to gain exposure?
Diese Idee für den Post hatte ein Freund, der hat gesagt, okay, Weltmeister in Paris zu werden, wir müssen vor den Eiffelturm, das wird ein unglaubliches Foto. Deswegen bin ich heute Morgen früh aufgestanden und habe gleich mal losgelegt.
The idea came from one of his best friends, to say, well, if you win in Paris, it has to be an iconic shot, so you should, take it in front of the Eiffel Tower. So despite being very tired, he got up very early in the morning because beautiful weather, obviously, without sleep pretty much, and took the photos, and yeah, for him, yeah, that's awesome.
Die Social-Media-Kanäle für uns Athleten, gerade für mich als Ringer, wo eine Randsportart in Deutschland ist, sind unglaublich wichtig. Ich selbst konnte jetzt schon über 20.000 Fans generieren, was für einen Ringer unglaublich viel ist. Und man kann auch die Menschen erreichen, weil wir nicht diese Fernsehzeiten haben.
Yeah. He says especially for athletes that are not competing in the prime sport like football, for example, it's super important to have these channels, and for him as a German wrestler having 20,000 followers, that's quite impressive, and it helps him to engage with his fan community, with other wrestlers, to show what he's been up to, and gives him a lot of opportunities.
I just want to thank the French Federation for beautiful organizing this World Championships.
Je voudrais remercier la Fédération française pour l'organisation de ce magnifique championnat.
Well, my main question would be for Frank, two-time world champion, representing Greco-Roman wrestling, and I think he did it in a very nice, beautiful way, showing that our sport can be very nice. So I want to ask him, Frank, when you win to this tournament, especially in the final match, what would make the difference that you represent our sport on a really, really beautiful way? Even if it was a lot of pressure, it was a second world title on the line. So how you find that, and what was going on through your mind? What is that you need to do to represent all of us like you did?
Also zuerst mal macht mich das extrem stolz, auch dass unser Präsident gesagt hat und jetzt wiedergegeben, von einem amerikanischen Kollegen, dass mein Ringstil so interessant für die Zukunft ist und es so aussehen sollte.
Yeah, he's very touched and honored that Mr. Lalovic, as well as the U.S. Media, gives him the credit for having a beautiful wrestling style. That's how Greco-Roman should look like in the future. That's the future of Greco-Roman that everyone wants to see, and that's something very meaningful to him.
Und ja, wie ich mit dem Druck umgehe, egal ob erster Kampf oder Finale, ich versuche mit der Ringweise heranzugehen. Mit der heutigen Regel ist es sehr schwierig, weil sehr viel strategisch geprägt ist.
Yeah, for him, the pressure, it's not the biggest problem. He can adapt quite well to it, so it doesn't matter whether he has pressure or not. But the difficulties he faces with the current regulations is that you have to become very strategic. So his wrestling style had to become a lot more strategic than it was before.
Und wenn ich das auch bei anderen beobachte, doch mit vielen Trainern, wo die Athleten einstellen, die heißt, oh, wenn du den ersten Punkt abgibst, dann holst du in der zweiten Hälfte den zweiten über die Verwarnungen und Passivitäten und da wird extrem viel gepokert.
Yeah, he says there is a lot of poker and gaming and gambling going on with other athletes, and if they are trying to adjust to Frank's wrestling styles, and coaches are saying, well, whether you make the first or the second point, you have to go for it. So for him, it's a lot more strategic work that needs to happen to be successful.
Und da ich es hasse, mein Schicksal in andere Hände zu geben, will ich das lieber selbst bestimmen und deswegen halte ich nichts von diesem strategischen Kampf, sondern möchte frei kämpfen, möchte aktiv Punkte machen und nur so kann dann auch wirklich ich selbst es bestimmen und nicht der Schiedsrichter.
Yeah, he's not a huge, he really doesn't like being up to fate in a sense. He likes to take his fate in his own hands and goes for it rather than being like waiting and strategic. He wants to go forward and wants to make the points himself rather wait and see.
Thank you so much.
If there's no more questions, then one more question.
Nenad, again, obviously in 2013 you had the big sort of big scare, as it were, regarding the Olympic program. You said yesterday that you've come a long way in those 4 years. How important is it that you have events in places like this, in great arenas like this, to showcase the sport, to protect the future of the Olympic program?
As I said many times, every sport has to have that approach, to be frequently updated. But I will tell you, when we have a world champion in the way that Frank did it yesterday, we don't have any threat for the future. And what I insist is that we have to create rules which will oblige every Greco-Roman wrestler to wrestle this way. Then we don't have to even to think about it. We are in a very good position. Our result from Rio is very good. And nobody is speaking about any kind of threat of, and you know very well because your agency follows very much the work of the IOC, that all the sports actually a program will remain, except the additional sports from Tokyo, will remain on the Olympic program certainly until 24. There will be maybe some cuts on some disciplines or adjustments on the number of athletes in some sports after Tokyo, but definitely all the sports will remain on Olympic Games until 24. But we are not, our future doesn't rely on that. Our future relies on ourselves. What we can create, the show we can produce with a spectacular wrestling. And this is the only thing that can keep, not our sport, every sport alive. Because the day you lose spectators, you lose the sport. It's very simple. So I am, how to say, I feel really well when I know that all of us we are heading toward wrestling like we saw in some matches yesterday. And the problem is that the matches during the morning session are much more interesting than the evening session, because we have more activity, more taking risks, and at the end, for the medal fight, in the medal fights, everybody, like Frank said, is too much tacticizing, and at the end, you don't see wrestling at all at the end. That's why I'm grateful for the way he won this World Championship. And I hope that we'll have this evening same matches with so much points and activity. And this was really a show yesterday, what he did. We have one champion, Alain, who is sitting. He was wrestling it the same way, huh, Alain? He's now Bulgarian coach, but he wrestled. I remember him from 2004. I remember Melonin in 2004, the qualifiers and everything, and World Championship, Crete. They don't know, but I followed them for many years.
That's all the questions. And you guys, any last remarks? Thank you for attending the press conference, and final start at 7 p.m.